Hello friends, now we are going to learn about the payment method configurations. For that, you have to again go to the store and configurations. Under store configuration, you have to go to the sales and here you would find payment methods. Now, within the payment method section, first of all, you would have to set your merchant location. If you're doing it for the first time, you would have to set it to the source location where your business is operating. Then you would find three key sections in here. Recommended options. Inside this, you would find all the payment gateways, which are kind of recommended by Adobe Commerce. Typically, these are Adobe partners. So PayPal is a platinum partner with Adobe, and Braintree is also a PayPal company. These extensions come out of the box from Adobe Commerce, and you just have to go in here, click on configure, and you can do the various configuration to enable these payment gateways. Apart from that, you would also find other PayPal payment option. This option comes because of the extension that brings this payment gateway in here. And here you can find other PayPal options as well. For example, Payflow. It's also a different type of payment gateway that comes from PayPal. It's a child company of PayPal. So you can configure them from here. And then this third section, other payment gateways, here you would find all the other payment gateways that comes out of the box from Adobe. And here you would find most of the payment gateways which are like, not prepaid or, where you would not require a payment processing before placing the order. If you install new payment gateways like Stripe or Aiden, all those payment gateways would appear in this section only. Now, to do the configuration of any payment gateway, there are certain basic things that you have to do. So let's just start with this cash on delivery payment gateway first. To enable the payment gateway to appear onto the checkout page of Adobe Commerce, you have to click on this and make sure that it's selected as yes. The title would be the title that appears on the checkout page. So if you are enabling, let's say, 4 or 5 payment gateways, one is credit and debit card, the other one is go to the bank and then pay, the third one is cash on delivery, and so on. So this title here would be appearing onto the website's front end on the checkout page, so you can configure the title from here. This new order status is very important. This would be the status of the order as soon as the order is placed in the system. So on the website's front end, as soon as customer clicks on place order button and the order is submitted into the system, by default, this would be the status of the order. You can change the order status depending upon your payment gateways. For example, if you are already collecting the payment from customers with, let's say, Stripe or PayPal or Braintree, or any other payment gateway, then probably you would want this order status to be processing rather than pending. But here the payment itself is pending because it's cash on delivery. So it makes sense to keep it pending. Then this payment gateway is applicable into what countries? So depending upon the countries that are allowed by your store, if you select this allow all countries, so this if a customer select their billing address with any country, they would be able to see this payment gateway. Or you can just check this checkbox, uncheck this checkbox, select specific countries, and then select the countries that where you would want this payment gateway to appear. So this way, for different countries, you can enable and disable different payment gateways. I also note that depending upon your website, if you have multiple websites on your system or in different store views, you can again switch to different configuration level and scopes, and you can enable and disable these configuration there as well. So for this particular payment gateway, because it's cash on delivery, so if admin want to write some instruction, they can be written in here. Minimum order total is like, we want the cash on delivery to be available starting from, let's say $0, but maximum to $100, we would only be accepting the cash on delivery. So you can set minimum order total, maximum order total in here. And then sort order, if let's say you have three payment gateways on the website front end, like credit card, debit card, and payment via bank transfer. So you would want to control the sorting of these payment gateways. Like you would want to have credit or debit card first, let's say. So you can have that, one in here for credit and debit card. For let's say bank transfer, you can set it to, and depending upon the sort order, the payment gateways would be displayed onto the website's front end. Now, more or less, the same options would be available for all the payment gateways. Let's just discuss about other basic payment gateways that comes. Zero subtotal checkout. This is one of the most important thing. and you need to always keep it yes or enabled. This payment gateway will not be displayed onto the website's front end, but it is important if, let's say, you're giving 100% discount onto something, or if customers are purchasing some sort of services where they are not paying for anything. If this is enabled, then customers would be able to place order onto the website's front end without even selecting a radio button or selecting a payment gateway. This essentially enables you to place order as a customer, even if your order total is zero and you're not collecting any payments. Now, check and money order, as the name indicates, it's for check and money order, more or less the same configuration that you have seen earlier, but you have, additional option in here, like, this check should be payable to, where you would be, sending this check to, and so on. So you can have those configuration. Bank transfer is more or less again the same, but you would have different configuration in here, instructions in, as in what should be the bank name or bank details and sort code and so on, you can fill in here. Then cash on delivery we have already discussed. Purchase order is typically used for B2B journeys where you would want to allow to add a purchase order file or select payment gateway as purchase order rather than paying upfront. So you can also have that configured. Now, if you're using a payment gateway where a prepayment is required, you can do all those configurations as well. Let's just quickly check the PayPal payment gateway. So again, you can enable this solution. Enable in-context checkout experience means like within the page, if you want to have this checkout experience or you would want the customers to be redirected outside, depending upon the payment gateway and the way they work, you would see different options here. Now, within the PayPal, you would also find like PayPal Express checkout where you can enable buy now button on the product detail page as well. So you can also have those configured. You would definitely have to add your API details, username, password, signature that you would get from your PayPal account. So more or less, you would have to make all the configurations in here, and the payment method should be working onto the website's front end. So that's all for this one. Thank you very much.